Welcome, everyone. We're going to take a few minutes to let all the attendees in. So if you can just bear with us, we'll start in about 4 minutes. So. All right, everyone, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and get started and everyone can join. Welcome this evening to the Tucson Unified School District WEX webinar. We'd like to thank everyone who has joined us and also we'll introduce Erica Escobar. She will be doing the presentation tonight for us. And then also your benefits team, your TUSD benefits team. What we will do is we will have questions. If you can hold off to the very end, we'll have a Q&A at the very end. You can type in your question and then we will answer those at the very end. So with that, I will introduce Erica Escobar.
Thanks, Elvis. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining today as we cover the flexible spending accounts administered by WEX. My name is Erica, as Elvis said, and I'm certainly happy to be here to present today the spending accounts as well as assist with those questions at the end here. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start out by covering the medical flexible spending account, or the medical FSA is what you'll hear it called, what it is and how you can leverage this tax-free account. So we'll kind of kick into the medical FSA first. The medical FSA is really a benefit that allows you to choose how much of your paycheck you'd like to set aside before taxes are taken out for medical, dental, vision, and preventative healthcare expenses. So saving you money overall by reducing your taxable income. The funds are available on the first day of the plan year. So all of your FSA funds that you enroll or elect for the new plan year are available to spend right away. And you can think of it basically like a discount on healthcare expenses at stores such as Amazon, Target, Walgreens, and many, many more. So the dollars that you contribute are taken out of your paycheck before tax. So ultimately, maybe $100 purchase could actually cost you over $130 without a medical FSA. So that's sometimes a piece that some people forget about, is that that's pre-tax dollars. So you're saving on a discount in addition to that. So think about the money that you spent on your medical, dental, vision expenses this last year, and you can, certainly plan ahead and set those funds aside for the medical FSA for the new plan year. So question, what does a medical FSA cover? So to name just some of the many, many examples, under medical expenses, you can use it such as items such as ambulance services, co-insurance, co-pays, prescription, and over-the-counter medications. Dental expenses can include items such as cleaning, co-pays and deductibles there as well, dental treatments, fillings, and orthodontia work. Vision expenses are really similarly straightforward, covering those contact lenses, eye drops, eye exams, and even vision corrective procedures such as LASIK. And then finally, there's preventative care, which includes services such as physicals, immunizations, and well child visits for your family. If you have any questions on eligibility of expenses, I encourage you to please visit. We have an interactive eligible expense list on wexinc.com, and where you are able to just kind of type in the item that you're questioning, whether it's eligible or not, and it will tell you right within that interactive eligible expense list. The IRS sets the maximum dollar amount you can elect and contribute to the flexible spending account. So the 2024 annual contribution limit is $3,200. So we recommend reviewing, like I said before, how much you spent on those expenses this last year to determine how much you can, how much you want to elect. And then two, like I said, all of your FSA dollars, so that election amount that you enroll, are available to use on the very first day of the plan year. So if you elect $1,200 to your FSA, your contributions will be deducted evenly across all of your paychecks for the year, but you have full access if you have a service that you're going to incur, right away towards the beginning of the plan year. You can use the WEX benefits card for that eligible expense for you, your spouse, and even eligible dependents as well. So just kind of a reminder here, your plan year does run from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th. And then June 30th is really the last day to incur services with your medical and limited FSAs. And then your plan also does allow some additional time for a run out period. So you have until September 28th to submit all paperwork for claims that were incurred during that plan year. So you have a little bit of additional time until the end of September just to file claims. You can't incur any new services with the FSA accounts here, but gives you that additional time to kind of gather up if you had any claims that you had paid out of pocket. Along with that additional run out period, Tucson offers the medical and limited FSA a carryover. So it allows you to transfer up to $640 of your remaining balance at the end of the plan year into the following year. So you can kind of think of it like a safety net. If you end up spending less than you anticipated when you made your elections, you can tap those into those funds next year. So carryover funds become available after the end of that claim filing period. So probably around mid-October, you would see any balance up to $640 available into your new election. And then also with the carryover, you're still able to elect the full maximum annual election in the new plan year. So carryovers don't impact, they just will roll into a full maximum election if you'd like into the new plan year. And the FSA carryover is only available for the medical and limited FSAs and not for the dependent care account. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute as well. So let's talk a little bit now about the limited flexible spending account and how this can be paired. For those of you that are enrolled in a health savings account, this is the one you want to look at. So this one actually is eligible and can be paired with a health savings account. So it gives you even above and beyond access to utilize for those services throughout the year for dental, vision, and preventative expenses. So we'll talk here too kind of what does that limited FSA cover? Very similar to medical FSA, except doesn't have those medical expenses. So we've got the dental, the eye, vision items here, including, you know, all of the orthodontia work as before, eyeglasses, contacts, all of those items. And if you are wondering if you can enroll, anyone is eligible to enroll in the limited FSA as long as you're not enrolled in a full medical FSA. So like I said, this would be more for employees that are enrolled in that health savings account. It's going to be the one that's going to pair great with that, giving you that additional pre-tax savings. And then lastly here too, to cover the dependent care FSA. So a dependent care FSA is that benefit that allows you to set aside that portion of your paycheck for eligible dependent care expenses each year. So it can be used for out-of-pocket daycare expenses, after-school programs, day camp programs for dependents up to the age of 13. And it also covers cost for disabled spouse or dependents of any age. One item I like to make sure to note, because sometimes there gets to be confusion with it, is this benefit is utilized to cover dependent care expenses and not dependent medical expenses. So sometimes that gets to be some confusion there. So utilizing it for all of those care expenses. And you can either use your funds as they're contributed to the dependent care account. So this one's a little bit different. As payroll deductions are taken from your check and contributed towards the account, you can spend them, or you have the ability to save kind of strategically and file a larger claim at the end of the plan year too, and kind of get paid out in one lump sum. So whichever you would prefer, there are some different options for reimbursement that we'll talk about here with that dependent care FSA. Your household can elect up to $5,000 maximum annually for the dependent care FSA. So a household can really be single adults electing $5,000, or if you're married or have a domestic partner and you elect $5,000 together as a household, but ultimately just not exceeding $5,000. So you can contribute dollars to that dependent care FSA. And then here too, we do offer, which I highly recommend if you've got a kind of a recurring dependent care expense. We have a form that can make utilizing that this benefit even easier. So you can simply fill out the form, submit it to WEX, and if approved, we'll reimburse you automatically every time contributions are made towards your account. So you're not having to file a claim each month. If you know you're going to kind of have a similar recurring expense, you can use that recurring form and set up direct deposit, and you'll be paid out monthly for those claims without having to go into your account every month and file those claims too. Plan year here as well for the dependent care FSA, July 1st to June 30th. And then a little bit different, Tucson offers a grace period. So what that allows is that you actually have until September 15th to continue incurring services with that dependent care FSA. So you have 2.5 months past the end of the plan year to continue to incur those services, giving you that additional time to spend down that remaining balance, because the dependent care doesn't carry over. So you want to make sure you're utilizing that full amount in the plan year. And then you have till September 28th here as well to file any claims. So giving that little bit of additional time to submit those claims. Once you elect an FSA, you cannot really change your election unless you experience a qualifying event. So I wanted to kind of share with you here. A qualifying event includes items such as a change in marital status, number of dependents, so birth or adoption of a child, or a job status change. And then IRS dependent care approved qualifying events are change in daycare providers, your child turning age 13, so no longer eligible for that dependent care FSA, and an increase or decrease in cost of daycare expenses. So that fluctuation of the daycare costs can be qualifying event to be able to change your election with the dependent care FSA. But certainly I would review with Tucson as well if you have any additional questions on qualifying status changes for the medical FSA plans too. So your enrollment in any of our WEX plans includes the free benefits debit card. So that allows you easily access funds right from your wallet to help you minimize your out-of-pocket spending. Being able to swipe the debit card for medical FSA limited claims. And if you already have a debit card, so you're currently enrolled in a WEX benefits, you're not going to receive a new debit card if you enroll in the new plan year. Just so you know, you'll continue to utilize that same debit card that you currently have. They're good for 4 years. And then WEX will automatically mail you a new debit card 90 days before the expiration date of your current debit card. If you are looking for if your card is lost or stolen, or you need replacement cards or additional cards for family members, you can order those within your online account with Benefits mobile app, or even by calling our customer service teams as well. And those debit cards, like I said, are always free of charge, no charge to order those additional cards, and highly recommended, and probably the most common way for claims to be filed against the FSA. So a very handy, convenient way to utilize those benefits. So just to talk a little bit here about the documentation with the FSA flexible spending accounts. So there are instances where we will reach out to you requesting documentation for your debit card purchase. So if you've swiped your debit card, it's approved, and then you receive a follow-up email just asking for additional documentation, the IRS does require a review of purchases to verify if the service or item is an eligible expense. So we want this to be an easy benefit for you, and we truly try to minimize the amount of times that we have to ask for the documentation or substantiation. WEX, actually, we've built into our benefits debit card a lot of great features that includes the ability to read what items are being purchased automatically at certain locations. So depending on the location or the provider that you're utilizing your debit card, we have the ability to confirm whether or not it's an eligible expense. We have the ability to recognize recurring expenses. So just to say, for example, a chiropractor visit, you're maybe going once a week. You provide proper substantiation for the very first visit, and any debit card claim for that same dollar amount at that same chiropractor or same merchant would auto-substantiate going forward. So you wouldn't be requested to provide documentation going forward. Lastly, there are going to be times that we will ask for that substantiation, and a highly example would be at a dentist office. So we know the dentist office offers services that are not FSA eligible. We're going to ask you to substantiate your transaction so that we can tell if you've got your teeth cleaned, which is 100% eligible, or if you got your teeth whitened, which is not an eligible expense. So that would be an example of when you may be requested to provide that documentation. If you are submitting a claim via your mobile app, your online account, or manually via the mail, the best form and my recommendation of a receipt or documentation, if you've got it, is an explanation of benefits. It includes all of the necessary information for WEX to be able to approve that claim. And if you don't have an EOB, an itemized receipt from a provider or merchant would work as well. But really just keeping in mind the key areas that the documentation must include per the IRS is when the service was received, where you received the service, what service was received, the amount cost, and then who received it. So item or service, I should say, just making sure that documentation pulls in all of that information right away is gonna keep the timely processing of that claim and documentation. For anything that you've actually paid out of pocket. So you haven't utilized the WEX benefits card, you've paid for a service out of pocket, or you didn't have your card with you and you paid for something, you can also submit those claims to be reimbursed. So paying yourself back for those claims out of your benefits account. So you can be reimbursed by using the benefits mobile app. You can select file a claim within there, and there's super easy to follow those steps. You can even take a picture of your itemized receipt right through your mobile phone. We're finding a larger population of individuals are utilizing the mobile app because of the camera feature, being able to snap a picture of the documentation and the claim information. And certainly, of course, you always have the option through your online account or a paper claim form as well. And then here, claims are processed within 2 business days. So you can choose to be reimbursed via check in the mail or setting up direct deposit banking information within your online account. You're the only one that sees that, and we're able to reimburse and send those funds to right directly to your bank account at no additional charge. So a quicker way of being reimbursed for those out-of-pocket expenses. And now just kind of wrapping up, I wanted to kind of end with a highlight of how you can access your accounts. So certainly you're enrolled in the benefits. You've gotten kind of the information from Tucson, and you're now elected into the medical limited or dependent care FSA. You can log in through your online account. Like I said, setting up a benefits mobile app. You can have both alongside of each other. You don't have to pick one or the other. So it gives you the flexibility and ease of being able to see balance information, transactions, complete any tasks you need, or even to just an FSA eligible expense scanner within the mobile app as well. You're at a store, you're wondering if something is eligible, you can pop it open, scan the item, and it will tell you right then and there through the app whether or not it's an eligible expense. So a couple different ways there to access your account, and certainly giving you that ease of use too. And I did put here too as well, just an image of the mobile app. So it does provide you that quick, easy, has everything on the mobile app that is also online within the consumer account. So you can set up fingerprint access right from your phone. Like I said before, as an eligible expense scanner, and you can check your account balance while standing in the line at the store. So just having that flexibility, and everybody typically always has their phone in their pocket or in their purse. So just having that quick on the go activity with your flexible spending accounts here. And then I did want to include here as well, for any questions or assistance that you need, whether you're currently enrolled in a benefit account with Tucson, or you're looking to join the accounts and elect for the new plan year. Certainly any questions, you can contact our customer service teams Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then you do have those options. You can live chat if you're more of a chat feature type of person, or you can certainly call in or email directly to our customer service. So if you have any questions at all, certainly reach out to WEX directly, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you here. And I just, ending there, just want to certainly thank you all for your time, and certainly let's open it up for any questions or items that anybody has regarding the flexible spending accounts.
Thank you, Erica. I really appreciate all the information that you gave us. And I think one of the things that, as people are looking to either type in their questions, just making sure that if you do decide to go on this, you can go to the WEX FSA eligible expense website beforehand just to take a look if there's something there. I had one of the districts that I worked with before, a lady signed up for she wanted to get a tummy tuck, and she didn't look on the website before that tummy tucks weren't covered. So at the end of the year, she was scrambling to use all the money that she had put away for her tummy tuck. So it's really important that you guys, as you're going through this process, that you're looking, because there is a lot of stuff that is covered on there, which is great, especially with the dependent daycare too, that you can do dependent daycare for adults in the event that, you have someone in the house that needs to be taken care of and you're working. You can also do that dependent daycare too. So I don't see any questions. So, oh, I got one. I got two. Let me read it out to you. The first one is, can both an employer and a spouse using an employer benefits have a separate medical fee?
So maybe just clarifying here, talking maybe both employer or both husband and wife enrolling in a benefit with
I
separate
think so. I
employers.
think, yeah, that kind of sounds like it's a,
Yep. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So as long as you're not exceeding that IRS maximum amount, yep, you can certainly, you can both be enrolled, and as long as they're eligible, kind of I'm losing my words here. Eligible benefits to be together at the same time, contributing to at the same time. That's the word I was thinking of. So, yep.
And then the other question here is what happens to funds if you decide to separate from the district and you still have $1,000?
Yeah. So actually, depending on I guess the circumstances or situation, you would lose access to those funds. You have a bit of a run out period after terminated from Tucson or leave Tucson. You have a short amount of time just to file any claims for services that were incurred prior to your termination date. But then you would forfeit those funds back to the plan. You potentially, if eligible for COBRA, that kind of opens up a whole nother can of worms. You could maybe kind of access those funds again through COBRA, depending on the event. It's kind of just speaking in general here. But yes, you would have, you end up be allowed to incur any new services after you terminate from the company.
And it looks like the first question was asking if the max amount is for both. That is correct. Can the employer and the spouse using the benefits? Or do they each get the max amount?
That would be, just trying to think through it here. So
I'm trying to remember.
yep. Don't get asked that question all too often here, but let me.
I think you can.
I think it is the maximum
Yep,
for both.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
I can take it as a follow-up here as well too, Elvis.
Sure.
Just
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Any new questions? I don't have any other questions. I only had 4 questions.
any questions?
Anyone else? Going once. Going twice.
Did I cover everybody's questions?
That's how good you are. We
No.
know. That's why we have the expert with us tonight. So we appreciate it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly,
Well,
if anybody thinks of any questions afterwards, don't hesitate to reach out to WEX customer service or the Tucson team as well. But certainly WEX customer service online, through your online account or any of that. I know questions are going to kind of bubble up as you make those decisions for the new plan year here. So want you to be fully aware and know and understand here. Get your questions answered so you know what's going on. But yeah. Anybody
okay.
else?
Well, with that, I'm going to close this out. Erica, thank you. Tucson Unified School District team, thank you. And thank you for everyone who attended. Really appreciate it. Once again, if you do have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to the district or directly to WEX. So have a wonderful evening. And this is recorded, so you can go back if you want to play it back later on, and have a good evening and maybe go to sleep. So
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Erica.
everybody. Yes, thank you. Have a good
Thanks.
evening, everybody.
You as
All
well.
right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.